We offer you safe conduct out of this domain if you leave everything you stole from Sir Hanish's subjects and pay 60 groschen in compensation.
That's a very generous offer. But tell me, why should I accept?
Because you don't know what you're up against.
Don't I?
Sir Hanish has a guest in Rattay, the royal hetman Sir Radzig Kobyla. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Of course. What of him?
Sir Radzig's gathering forces in Rattay to march against the king's enemies. So I'm sure you understand that your family quarrel, or rather your way of settling it, is quite a nuisance to him.
Say no more. I heard Radzig was driven out of Skalitz, but I didn't know he was in Rattay.
So you'll leave?
I wouldn't want to go up against an old friend.
You know each other.
Indeed we do. Give him my regards, won't you? And when he marches against Sigismund by the grace of God, tell him to send word to me in Camberg. I'd hate to miss it. And now go back and tell that Oleshna Viper that we're moving out. But don't let him think he's frightened us off. It's out of respect for Sir Radzig.
I'll tell him. You're doing the right thing.
Run along, then.
Sir Radzig, I believe you know Sir Wulflin of Camberg.
I do. We once had a rather amusing encounter. Such a shame he's turned to robbing and pillaging. How did the mission go, anyway?
An amusing encounter, sir?
It happened before we went to Poland. I hired Wulflin as a mercenary to help deal with the royal matter. We were laying siege to Herstein Castle because the lord there had been collecting tolls on the royal highway. It was winter and the mountain passes were knee-deep in snow. There was no way to get reinforcements or supplies to us. So we were in a bit of a fix. There was a strong garrison at the castle, and they had more food than we. By chance, the lady of the castle, Ophelia, arrived and wanted to get inside. Her carriage got stuck in a snowdrift, and being chivalrous knights, we rescued her. And then Wulflin got the idea we would hold Lady Ophelia hostage in exchange for Lord Herstein's surrender along with his men. We even promised him we would let her go inside first.
But they could easily have broken their promise once the lady was inside and refused to surrender, couldn't they?
Of course. We expected it, and we had something up our sleeve. It was snowing heavily and the visibility was low, so they didn't notice it wasn't Lady Ophelia in the carriage, but Wulflin in disguise. As soon as the gate closed behind the carriage, Lord Herstein came and gloated at us from the battlements. Only in the meantime, Wulflin killed the whole escort and opened a side gate in the walls, where we were waiting. After that, it was all over in minutes. So tell me, what happened with him?
We parleyed with them and they pulled out.
How did Bernard feel about that? I think he was ready to bite Wulflin's head off.
He wasn't happy about it. But I told him Sir Hanish wanted the matter solved without bloodshed if possible.
I'm glad you did.
Wulflin asked me to give you his regards. And he said if you're going to march against Sigismund, you should let him know.
My God. It's a fine state of affairs when even outlaws want to march under my banner.
Perhaps it's not such a bad thing, my lord. It's good to know he's still loyal to you after all these years.
You're probably right.
I'll be going.